Hi, my name is Noona and I am an intuitive transformational life coach. And I work with clients to help them transform their lives and really show up as the best versions of themselves. So today I am talking about a topic that I'm sure so many of us can really relate to, and it's how to stop people pleasing. Now, as a recovered people pleaser myself, I can totally relate to it. And I guess before I start giving my top 4 tips of how to stop people pleasing, I really want to explain what people pleasing is. And people pleasing and why we do it, essentially, when we don't value ourselves and hold our own needs and desires and have a real high self-worth, when we have low self-worth, when we have low self-confidence, what happens is we fall into the trap of wanting to please other people so they can make us feel better about ourselves, because we don't hold that within ourselves. And what happens is that we end up feeling very resentful, because no matter how much we do for other people, nothing they do is going to be enough, because there's a void within us. So I really wanted to just spend some time explaining the reason why people pleasing can feel such a double-edged sword, because we really do want to go out there and help other people, but at the same time, because we're doing it from a place of lack of self-love and self-worth, there is a lot of the resentment attached to it as well, because we're never going to receive as much as we need to fill ourselves up. So my top tips to how to start putting your needs first and to stop people pleasing. The first thing I would say is put your needs before others. And the way that you can do that is, when somebody asks you to do something, really check in with yourself. Is this going to deplete you energetically? Are you going to end up feeling empty if you do this? Are you taking from your reserves? Are you already busy? Is there too much on your plate? And if there is, then you know that this is not a time for you to say yes. However, if someone has asked you to do something, or there's something that you want to do and you're doing it genuinely with no expectations with anything back, because you know you really want to do it, this will light you up, this will leave you feeling amazing, that's when you know that it's okay for you to carry on and say yes and do it. So really check with yourself. Put your needs before others. And the way that you check whether you're doing it for yourself or others, will doing this bring you more energy, or will this deplete you? If it's depleting you, say no. Okay, leads us on to the second one, is really practice saying no. And what I mean by this, it's not just physically just saying no, it's learning to have stronger boundaries. Now, it's very hard for us to have boundaries when we're people pleasing. And the best way to start practicing having boundaries is to start having boundaries with yourself. Where can you start building more boundaries with yourself? It could be the way you speak to yourself. It could be how much time you spend on social media. It could be what you find acceptable or not acceptable with yourself. Once you learn to build more boundaries with yourself, it's easier to have boundaries with other people. The practice saying no, just try and maybe practice saying no to yourself first. So saying no to not want to, when you want to go to the gym and not going, no, that's my boundary, is that I will go. So just really practice saying no, and practice saying no for you as well, to yourself as well, doing things that you know don't serve you. The other way that you can practice, and the reason I'm really saying practice with all of this, because it does take practice, especially if we have a lifetime of people pleasing, this really does take time. Now, the other way is to learn to receive more, because when we are people pleasers and we do things for others, we tend to not be okay to accept and receive. So really start watching when someone pays you a compliment. Instead of saying, I got this in the sale, oh, it's nothing, or change the subject, really hold that and accept the compliment. Just a simple thank you. Oh, you look really great. Thank you. Oh, I love what you're wearing. Thank you. Learn to receive more, because when you learn to receive more, your need to people please does go down. And the ways you can practice receiving more is by being able to accept more compliments and also asking for help. We can find it very, very difficult to ask for help as people pleasers because we want to be the ones to do everything. So really practice asking for help. This, again, it is a practice and it does take time, but it is so, so important. Now, underlying all of this, and this is my last tip on how to stop people pleasing, is, as I said in the beginning, people pleasing really comes from a lack of self-worth. So really practice and really start understanding where is your lack of self-worth coming from, and start working on building your own self-worth. And the way that we can do that, there are so many different ways that you can learn to build your self-worth, but really work on having the ability to really hold the love for yourself, for really honoring your needs, for really making sure that you come first, that you are important. And once you raise your self-worth, once you raise the way you speak to yourself, you raise the love that you have for yourself, people pleasing really does go down. I see you, I hear you, I feel you. To all those people pleasers out there, this was me. And one of the most biggest transformations that I have had is being really comfortable with saying no. And I really believe that it's made me much more magnetic, because I'm so much more authentic now, that when someone asks me to do something, I'm okay with saying no, because my self-worth is not based on whether I do that for them or not. It's based on such a deeper level. So I hope you found this all useful. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.